morning, everyone. This is Dr. Tracey McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator, and this is an ice cream dream morning meditation discussion. I want to bring something to your attention, and this is a two-part discussion. And so the first part, we're going to talk about this issue of people thriving off of the withering of others. Those who make a living off of the emotional and mental and spiritual death of others. Those who are flourishing by making sure directly or indirectly that other people flounder. And many of these individuals make money by causing suffering. They increase suffering. They manufacture dynamics and collude with other people to facilitate the suffering of others. And sometimes, as we've talked about before, this often involves attacking other people, manufacturing discord, condemning others, creating a constant victimhood narrative. And the expectation when people are operating from this space of extreme pathological narcissism, because that's what's going on when people are operating that way, is that they often don't expect that those who have been targeted for that pathological narcissistic campaign, they don't anticipate that those individuals are going to wake up from that stupor. And oftentimes, however, individuals do wake up from that stupor. And what happens when people wake up from that stupor is they will find that the individual who has targeted them for this flourishing while they flounder, they will find that the individual or the groups of individuals, they will justify that behavior. They will justify hurting others, and they will even blame the harm that they have perpetrated on those who have been harmed. And one of the responses to individuals waking up from one of these targeting campaigns is they will tend to focus on the manipulation and the deception that others have brought into their lives. So they'll focus on the issue of being deceived. They'll focus on being made vulnerable to the deception. One of the things that many individuals need in order to grow in terms of education, in terms of learning from experiences, they need to, instead of focusing on the perpetrator, and there's a natural inclination to do that, sometimes it's best to focus on what can be controlled. And what can be controlled is not the perpetrator of the harm. It is the human being that has been targeted. And so people cannot control being targeted. What they can do is control their response to that targeting narrative. And so one of the things that individuals might want to start thinking about is why, when red lights were flashing, that there was a pretending that the lights were yellow or green. Why, when one has identified that abuse is taking place, why does an individual go back for more and more and more? And in fact, when you're talking about social media platforms, why does someone pay for the privilege of being targeted and abused? The other question that individuals might want to start asking themselves is, when someone shows someone who they are, and they tell someone who they are, directly or indirectly, why is there a propensity to disbelieve them? What is going on with the self that one is willing to overlook all of the flashing red signs that say stop, go back, turn around? And instead, why does an individual keep going forward, deeper and deeper into that abyss? There's almost a cult following of people following people who talk about those who are narcissistic, those who are perpetrators, those who harm other people. But what is more important for many individuals is that they not only understand someone who is a manipulator and understand the process of manipulation. What is even more important is to understand one's own process in terms of being manipulated, one's own dynamics in terms of being duped, in terms of being deceived, in terms of being used, in terms of being perpetrated against. What is more important than understanding and uncovering the dynamics that are going on with a person who is harmful is understanding the dynamics that are going on within the self. Remember, self-knowledge is self-power. Take care and see you soon.